Good evening, Doc here for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA trade of the day for Tuesday, the 24th of November. Can you believe it? We actually have Bitcoin at or above 19,000. Seems like 3 years ago that we had this. And that is the case. Notice the volume. The volume is very good. It's very constructive. We are tailing slightly off. We are diverging slightly off on volume, but it still is enough to drive things. Understand that most of the public still has no idea what this is about, and this is very, very similar to what we saw back in 2017. Actually, this is much quieter than what we saw in 2017. Now, we're getting one of these sort of grinding uptrends again. This is where it's consolidating in place on the daily chart, and this is why we still have energy left to burn on the daily chart. Now, on the weekly chart, it's not the case. We are in exhaustion, but we've had this case before that the weekly chart can just burn on for quite a while. But notice this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row we've had positive results. I'm expecting this to turn into something a little bit more volatile in the near term. So be on your guard, because we may get something down to 15,000, or I should say 16 or 14, somewhere in that area could get hit on the first trip down. So either, as I talked about this weekend, have your limit orders out there at the price that you want, and don't kick yourself for it later if you didn't have it out there, or consider selling puts down at this level for a way to win either way. Now, Ethereum is just getting into the daily chart exhaustion, and that totally makes sense. This is a really nice ascending triangle pattern here that we broke out of, and it is ready to go into its next consolidation. Although, keep an eye on the weekly chart. The weekly chart not in exhaustion yet. So if the daily is able to recover in the next few days, we may have one final thrust higher for Ethereum. Ripple's really been the surprise today. Ripple is just completely breaking out of this great base here. So huge base that Ripple's been in. And if we pull this out to the weekly chart, we can start to see how big this base is. So really, the 80 cents is the initial base for this. 80 cents is really the base, the neckline for this entire base. This goes about 60 cents deep. So our target for this is going to be about $1.40 at the very least. Another one really ripping today is Stellar Lumens. And if I pull out to the weekly chart on this one as well too, you can see that really the base here has been about 15, 16 cents, and we had just broken out of that. So the base depth for this one, again, is maybe about, if we take this down to 4, it's about 12 cents from 16 down to 4. So that break above, let's say 16, should have an equivalent set up here to maybe about 30 cents or so. Still a top 10 rally here, guys. Still a top 10 rally. There's no shortage of candidates to pick on before you have to go for the alts. A lot of these are cheap enough that we don't have to drop our standards. We can still focus on the majors. That's it for today's report. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.